All right, we are starting to wind down here, day one of E3 at the PlayStation press conference. Starting to check in with a familiar face, a good old friend, and that is, well, Sackboy from not you, Tom, you're a good friend too, but Sackboy from LittleBigPlanet PS Vita. Tom O'Connor, you're the producer on LittleBigPlanet for PS Vita. So, we saw this game for the first time last E3. Where's it at now?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. So we were here last year at E3. We showed some of the play experience. We're in a really fortunate position this year because we basically got the whole, everything play, create, and share. We've got some awesome platforming and story levels. We've got full access to the whole create mode. And Richard's been given some great demos of that today. And we've also got access to our community because we've got an online beta at the moment, and the community are already starting to create some really interesting content.
That beta filled up very quickly, right?
I mean, we announced registration, the community went wild, and then we had that many registrants, we had to close it down within 2 days, and that beta went live last week.
Okay, well, why don't we take a look at the game? Richard is here to demo,
yeah, sure.
And we're just going to shoot over his shoulder, and we'll take a look here. So, what we're looking at here, Tom, it kind of looks familiar. It's Sackboy, a platforming level.
Yeah, so I should expect, what's really important to note with LBP Vita is that it's a full LBP experience. It's got a really epic story mode. In this version of the game, there's a troubled carnival planet called Carnivalia, and that's unique to Vita. And as you can see, Richard now is doing some traditional platforming, and he's jumping through bounce pads. When you see this material now, Richard can interact with that. That's a touchable material, and when he presses that, he can fire Sackboy up. He's in a bit of a run, a jump and a grab. So we've got 5 themes in the game for the story, and Sackboy, meets some really colourful characters. It's got a great narrative. Tarja and 011 have done an awesome job. As you can see, the game's looking fantastic.
So talk about the different Vita features that you guys use.
Yeah, so what's really great about the PlayStation Vita version is that we use every single feature. So Richard's using some front touch at the moment. We've also got levels with rear touch. We've got tilt. In the create modes, you can use front and rear cameras. You can use the microphone to record your own sound effects. And what's great about LBP Vita is that, we give all those tools to the community to create their own games.
So this is the story mode. What's going on in the story here?
So in the story, this is in the first theme, and this is in La Marionetta, and this is where Sackboy's basically learning all the basic skills in order to progress through the rest of the game and restore the joy in Carnivalia. So in the story, this kind of rogue planet is traveling the LittleBigPlanet universe, and it's stealing all the joy from Craftworld.
That's not nice.
It's not nice at all, no.
Sackboy won't stand for it, I'm sure.
He won't, and he doesn't.
Now, right now we're looking at the sort of base naked boy, but all the pop-it stuff, you can full customization. I'm assuming that's all in play.
Absolutely, and what's great about it on the Vita version is that with the touchscreen, everything's a lot slicker. It's really accessible. It's really tactile. It's a really fun experience, just kind of navigating through pop-its and dressing up Sackboy.
All right, why don't we take a look at something we were talking about? Is you have the ability to make games that are completely unlike things that we're used to seeing, the very craft look.
Absolutely, yeah. So if Richard just kind of backs out to that demo there. So what's unique about the PlayStation Vita version is, you can create those awesome platforming games. We give you all the tools to do that, but our community creators who we speak to all the time, we've got a great loyal community, they wanted something a little bit different. It's a handheld device. It's got different functionality compared to PlayStation 3. So we've created new tools that allow the community to be able to create games that are more like handheld experiences that you might see on other mobile devices. We let them create games that don't even need to look like LittleBigPlanet.
Yeah, let's take a
so
look.
As you can see here, this is one of our games that feature in our area called the arcade.
It's very much a game within a game. You have a menu and everything.
As you can see, there's no sign of Sackboy here. We allow the creators to design their own front ends, their own level select screens, and as you can see, when the game boots up now, we've got a really simple mechanic on this, and basically that's to tap the screen, and this is the kind of thing that you see on mobile devices. So we're really excited to see what our community will create with these tools.
Yeah, this looks more like something out of Tim Burton than it does out of Craftworld.
Exactly. I mean, the great thing is, when we ship the game later this year, we showcase the kind of things you can do. But already, with the online beta, we're seeing some things that we didn't even think of.
some of my favorite Little Big Planet levels were sort of these one-off, try to stay on this as long as you can, or keep jumping, never stop jumping. So are we going to see a lot of those things?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on PlayStation 3, we've got like 6.5 million levels.
Is that all?
We actually worked out one time that if you put all the levels side by side, it would take Sackboy 18 years to run through them. So, the fact that it's a handheld device, you're already seeing the kind of things that our community wants to create. We expect those experiences that you've seen before, but also brand new experiences as well.
All right, well, why don't we also take a look at one of the community levels you were showing me earlier from the beta that you had.
Yeah,
see what people can make from it, because I think that's where you just find like the most innovative things.
So this is a level that someone's created. As you can see, they've created their own front end with instructions. And then you jump into the game. It starts off quite traditional, just as Sackboy needs to run across the environment. But then, because we brought all the tools across from Little Big Planet 1 and 2, and even some tools from PSP, you can do some things that you might see before. So as you can see here, Sackboy is now going to be riding this dragon. And Richard's using the rear touch panel to make this dragon kind of guide through the environment and collect some heart pickups. As you can see, he's now going to use the front touch panel to clear the path and then make his way up through this maze.
So one thing that's not coming across, because we're shooting through cameras and it's going through the internet and it's bouncing all over the world, is how damn good this game looks on a Vita. I mean, it's really robust. I mean, all we can do is describe it and say things like it's the best thing I've ever seen. But really, I can say this does not do it justice how good this game looks.
Absolutely. I mean, within a couple of weeks of the online beta being live, our community had just gone. I've been like, oh my god, this game looks amazing, and it is on the small screen with the OLED screen. It's comparable to PlayStation 3.
All right, so do we have any idea of when we're going to finally be able to get a hold of Little Big Planet PS Vita?
So we've not actually announced a release date yet, but I can guarantee that it'll be this year.
Okay, well, we are definitely looking forward to that. One thing I just wanted to show you guys real quickly is the pod. I just kind of like how it's all very touch sensitive. Do you mind just going back to the menu, Richard, and we just take a quick look of how it just using the touchscreen does it just makes it so natural to be able to navigate, by touching.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been great because LBP has always had a really nice tactile interface, but with the touch.
Is there any way we can go to that on? Yeah, there we go. And just show how the navigation works. It's just very smooth. It's like the way it was
just
born.
Backs out of this menu and just goes to the pod. So as you can see, kind of like we've got the story mode, the community, and my levels. If Richard just jumps into community, for example, you can see how we've got this really nice, user-friendly interface. Everything's where it needs to be. It's within an easy reach of your thumbs. You've not got to take your hands off the device at all to use the touch screen.
And my favorite thing about the pod, if you don't mind backing up, is that in Little Big Planet, on the PS3, he's got a DualShock in there. He's got like a shiny new PS Vita.
Yeah, well, it had to have that in there, didn't it?
Well, that probably wouldn't have made sense if it was a
Exactly.
DualShock. Always thinking about the details. It's very important. Tom, Richard, thank you very much for taking us through Little Big Planet PS Vita. Looking forward to it significantly, and we'll have more on the PS blog about this game as we get closer to the fall.